As every day passes, this relief operation gets more and more urgent and desperate. Afghans hoping to escape have to walk through ranks of Taliban fighters. The British military are trying to move thousands of people out of Afghanistan in just days. It's a humanitarian mission in what feels like a war zone. A makeshift barricade is all that separates two armies who have fought for 20 years. The Taliban are just 1 meter away. It's a picture I never thought I would ever see. This is the first day that they've been able to bring order here. We've watched as thousands converged on this base, threatening to overwhelm the whole evacuation. The Taliban have assisted in this. Up the road, they're now controlling the crowds of people trying to reach the British position. Sometimes they fire into the air to make people stop. But they are a continuously menacing presence. Well, this is a humanitarian effort, but it's being done by the military because we're effectively in a war zone. And what's incredible, just one step away, there's a Taliban right next to the British forces who are trying to assess the people who are trying to get onto these relief flights. As one of the soldiers said to me, they could mess this up by just sending 1,000 blokes down the road. At the moment, they're cooperating and they're actually keeping things calm. It looks like chaos, but there is a method. The soldiers call out for interpreters as different nationalities arrive. Their paperwork is then checked. If they pass muster, they're directed to the entry gate to be processed inside. But many do not. The soldiers hate this, but without the proper paperwork, they have to turn people away.
I'll give him a bit of a shuffle on. Come on, mate, you've got to come this one. Sorry, you just haven't got the passport. I'm afraid you haven't.
Terrified families, men, women, and large numbers of children are sent back. Back into Afghanistan. Back towards the Taliban. And it's heartbreaking. Fatima is terrified. Her husband joined the Taliban and took to beating her. She and her 4-year-old daughter have nothing but a UN letter identifying them as victims.
Afghanistan is Taliban. Taliban is terrorists. My husband is terrorist Talib. America, Canada, France, her kishwar, me and just my.
So you and your daughter, you'll go anywhere? Any country?
Any country.
Yeah, she needs to explain all this to the
Me and my daughter.
We mentioned her story to the officer in charge outside. The soldiers have a reasonable degree of latitude in their decision-making, and Major Steve White decided to enter her into the system with no guarantees. It was quite simply an act of human kindness in all this mayhem. Fatima did make it inside. Major White may have saved their lives. He's certainly given them a chance of a better one. But there are many sad stories as well.
I'm too sure that they will kill us.
This doctor from Herat, who is with her sister and her mother, have absolutely no rights to get through the gates. They fled the Taliban and are now stuck. They have hope, but it seems hopeless.
We don't have any brother, we don't have father. You know that living in here is very difficult for us. We were living in Herat and we escaped from Herat and came to Kabul city to save our life, because also my uncles worked with the Taliban and they wanted to oblige us to forced marriage. And also I'm a doctor and my sister was working with the women's rights. She studied law, and also my mother is a teacher. My mother was the teacher of students in 8th class, the boys. Yes. The Taliban don't let her to teach the boys, and now she doesn't work, my mom.
And so now you're running away, really?
Yes, we escape from our place.
These soldiers are involved in a mission as diametrically opposed to anything they could ever have expected in Afghanistan. The Taliban have won here. In 20 years, a generation has grown up knowing what the Taliban were like. They don't want the next generation to experience it. Once again, a small contingent of soldiers are dealing with the mess. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Kabul.